So, hello friends, welcome to my channel, Edmund Coaching Center. So, today I'm going to that is the 12th standard biology first chapter reproduction in organisms. So, let's come to the first chapter. So, why is reproduction essential for organisms? So, reproduction is a fundamental feature of all living organisms. It is a biological process through which living organisms produce offspring similar to them. Reproduction ensures that continuance of various species on the earth. In the absence of reproduction, the species will not be able to exist for a long time and may soon get extinct. So, which is better mode of reproduction, sexual or asexual, and why? So, sexual reproduction is a better mode of reproduction. It allows the formation of new variants by the combination of the DNA from two different individuals, typically one of each sex. It involves the fusion of the male and female gametes to produce variants which are not identically to their parents and to themselves. This variation allows the individual to adapt the constant changing and challenging environment. Also, it leads to the evolution of better suited organism which ensures great survival of a species. So, on the contrary, asexual reproduction allows very little or no variance at all. So, as a result, individuals produced are exact copies of parents and themselves. So, why is offspring formed by asexual reproduction refers to as clone? A clone is a group of morphologically and genetically identical individuals, and in the process of asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved and there is no fusion of the male and the female gametes. As a result, the offspring so produced are morphologically and genetically similar to their parents and are thus called as clones. Next, offspring formed due to sexual reproduction have better chance of survival. Why? So, why it is better chance of survival means sexual reproduction involves the fusion of the male and female gametes, as you all know. This fusion allows the formation of new variants by the combination of DNA from two different members of the species. And the variations allow the individual to adapt under varied environment conditions for better chance of survival. By this variation, they have a chance of survival. So, how does pregnancy formed from sexual reproduction and pregnancy formed from sexual reproduction? So, asexual reproduction does not involve the fusion of male and female gametes, where organisms undergoing this kind of reproduction produce offspring that are morphologically and genetically identical to them. They can identify. Next, sexual reproduction involved in the fusion of the male and female gametes of two individuals, typically one of each sex. Organisms undergo this kind of reproduction produce offspring that are not identical to them. They are not identical. Next, offspring thus produced do not show variation and are called clones, and offspring thus produced show variations from each other and their parents. Next, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. It involves the fusion of male and female gametes. It does not involve the fusion of male and female gametes. It requires two different individuals. It requires only one individual, and the individual produced are not identical to their parents and show variation from each other. The individual produced are identical to their parents and hence called clones. So this was the difference between sexual and asexual reproduction, and also asexual reproduction is a fast process and sexual reproduction is slow process. And asexual reproduction, it is most animals reproduce sexually as most animal, and both sexual and asexual modes of reproduction is found in plants, and a sexual mode of reproduction are common in organisms having simple organization such as algae, fungi. So next is, what is vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation is a mode of asexual reproduction in which new plants are obtained from the vegetative parts of plant. Like this here, see, eyes of potato. So the surface of potato have several buds called eyes, and each of these buds, when buried in soil, develop into a new plant. And leaf of prophyllum. So the leaves of Bryophyllum plants bear several adventitious buds on their margins, Next, let us know about the definition of juvenile phase. So, it is the period of growth in an individual organism after its birth and before it reaches reproductive maturity. And reproduction phase. So, it is the period when an individual organism reproduces sexually and senescent phase. It is a period when an organism grows old and loses the ability of reproduction. Next, higher organisms have resorted to sexual reproduction in spite of its complexity. Why? Although sexual reproduction involves more time and energy, higher organisms have resorted to sexual reproduction in spite of its complexity. This is because this mode of reproduction helps to introduce new variation in potency through the combinations of DNA from two different individuals, and this variation allows the individual to cope with the various environmental conditions and thus make the organisms better suited for the environment, so they use the sexual reproduction. Next, explain the meiosis and gametogenesis are always interlinked. So meiosis is a process of reduction division in which the amount of genetic material is reduced, and gametogenism is the process in which the formation of gametes produced by organisms or haploids while the body of an organism is diploid. So like this it will be diploid. So you identify each of the flowering plant and write whether it is haploid or diploid to n. So like this, see ovary. So this, by seeing this, it is diploid to n. Anther, it is diploid to n. Egg is haploid n by seeing. Pollen is haploid n, and male gamete is also haploid n, and zygote is diploid to n. So next, let us define about the external fertilization. So external fertilization is the process in which the fusion of the male and female gametes takes place outside the female body in an external medium, generally water, fish, frogs, starfish, or some organisms that exhibit external fertilization. And disadvantage are in external fertilization, egg has less chances of fertilization, and this can lead to the wastage of the large number of eggs produced during the process. Next, zoospore and zygotes. So, zoospore. The zoospore is the motile asexual spore that utilizes the flagella for movement, and zygote is a non-motile diploid cell formed as a result in fertilization. And zoospore is an asexual reproduction structure, and zygote is a sexual reproduction structure, and gametogenesis and embryogenesis. So, gametogenesis, it is the process of the formation of haploid male and the female gametes for diploid meiosis through the process of meiosis, and it is the process of the development of the embryo from the repeated mitotic division of the diploid zygote. Next, let us know about the post-fertilization change in a flower. So, fertilization is the process of the fusion of the male and female gamete to form the diploid zygote. After fertilization, the zygote divides several times to form an embryo, and this fertilized ovule forms a seed. And the seed contains the embryo enclosed in a protective covering and called as seed coat. And while the enlarge and ripens that to become a fruit with the thick wall called pericarp. So let us know about what is bisexual flower. So the flower that contains both the male and female reproductive structure is called as bisexual flower, and they are like water lily, rose, and some other flowers. Let us know about examine a few flowers of any cucurbit plant and try to identify the stem. So cucurbit plant bears unisexual flowers, as these flowers have either the stamen or the pistil, and the staminated flower bear bright yellow colored petals along with the stamen that represent the male reproductive structure. Next, why are offspring of oviparous animals at a greater risk as compared to offspring of viviparous? So, oviparous animals lay eggs outside their body. As a result, the eggs of these animals are under continuous threat from various environmental factors. On the other hand, the vector animals that develop the egg take place inside the body of a female. Hence, the offspring of the egg-laying or oviparous animal is a greater risk as compared to the offspring of viviparous animal which gives the birth to its young ones. So, okay friends, this was the chapter, the reproduction